Am I gonna? No, the hat's fine, isn't it?
Yeah, the hat's cool.
Sorry, I'm gonna look back on this and be like, what the fuck did I wear that hat for? Oh, I won't swear as well. On your podcast, or do you swear?
Oh, I swear.
Oh, do you? That's fine.
Yeah.
Did your mum get on at you for it? Because my mum like gets on at me so much. Like, there's a lot of swearing in that video.
No,
My mum's
she
so
doesn't
funny
actually.
about
But
it.
if I swore in front of her, she would.
Mm-hmm.
But in the podcast, she wouldn't pull me up on it. We're recording?
Oh,
Okay.
I hear that.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back or welcome to a new episode of For The Craic with me, Emma Neill. I'm joined by a very special guest today. We've got Zara in the building.
Thanks for having me.
For anyone that doesn't know Zara, well, first of all, get to know.
Thank you.
You first came up on my TikTok For You page, and it was one of your taboo talks on the bus,
Right.
which I feel like is what your thing is
Yeah,
now.
well, I'm the bus girl now. I
Yeah,
think.
the bus girl.
No, genuinely, I think I am the bus girl.
Yeah, and you always, I remember, which one was it? I can't actually remember off the top of my head, but your topics always have me engaged straight away. They're always just like hit the nail on the head for me. Do you know what I mean? It's always things I'm interested in.
Oh, it's so like you're so target audience.
Yeah, I am. I'm your
exactly
demographic.
Yeah, I've got that right there. Yeah.
And Zara did one recently where she was kind of talking about the shifting landscape of the social media and influencer world, and like the shift in the content we're consuming, I guess, as well, along with that. And I was like, I need to get you onto the podcast to talk about this.
I got straight on the train from Edinburgh.
Yeah.
I got right here. I said time and place.
And we're in Spotify studios today, which is very exciting. I've never recorded here before. Shout out to Spotify.
Yeah.
So cool. Even the toilets are cool.
No, they are. They have everything.
They really do.
They had a fridge full of Diet Coke as well.
Yeah. I'm so glad you're here with me for my first time recording here, because I just feel like I'd be a nervous mess without
Yeah, no, we need some
someone.
mutual support here. Yeah.
Yeah.
The amount of nervous peas we've done already.
No, it's so bad. My tummy is going haywire here. I had to pop a propanol and everything this
Did
morning. I can never
you?
say that. Yeah, I did. I was like, the heart flutters will be going wild if I don't. So
I feel fine now. We've started though. Do you feel fine?
yeah,
now we've
yeah.
started?
Once
Yeah.
we start, now that we've started and
Yeah.
we're just talking, it's so fine. Like it just feels like when we were talking earlier.
Yeah, my leg is a wee bit shaky. Under.
They can't
We're
see
fine.
that. It's okay.
We're fine. We're fine.
So we're gonna stick to the usual here for the crack intro. Tell me a little bit about your week. How have you been?
Sorry, I took a drink right as you said that.
No,
I
don't
have
worry.
been brilliant. I'm feeling so big girl this week. Just coming to London. I went out. No, sorry, I went out for dinner. Like, okay, girl, you went out for dinner.
You went out for dinner and drinks on your own. That's a
No,
pretty
I
big
did
deal.
that. I did that yesterday. That was very big girl. Because I don't know that many people in London yet. So I came through yesterday, and all the girls were busy. So I was like, I'm not gonna sit in a hotel room. So I went and took myself out for dinner, and I tried orange wine, and that felt very
I
big
love
girl.
orange wine.
Orange wine is brilliant. I had
Yeah.
3 glasses of orange wine.
Orange
yesterday.
wine is so good, and you can't get it anywhere in Belfast. I don't know
Can you
what it's like
not?
in Edinburgh, but like I never see orange wine on menus anywhere.
What, but by the bottle, can you buy it? Do you think?
Maybe in like, you know, those kind of fancy off licenses where they sell like more expensive things.
But not like the co-op.
No,
Oh,
no,
'cause
you're
I
not
was
finding any
thinking-
orange wine in our co-ops. I can assure you that.
I was thinking now, like when I go out, that'll be my drink of choice. I'll get a wee orange wine.
Yeah, but the only thing about wine being your drink of choice is that you get hammered so quickly.
And the hangover the next day from a
Yeah.
wine hangover, I think is so much worse.
It is so bad. Like when I see my parents drink bottles and bottles of wine, I'm like, how do you do it?
I think that comes with age.
Do you
I
think?
think you hit a certain age, maybe when you're 13, and you can just start tanking bottles of
Do you
wine. I don't know.
reckon?
I don't know.
Because for me, the hangovers got like significantly worse when I got to like 24, 25, I would say.
A
So
quarter
then I'm
life
like,
crisis.
how does that then, when does that stop?
Dep-
And like my mum gets up and goes on fucking 10-mile runs,
I was
and I'm
about
like,
to say that.
what? How are you alive
Like,
right now?
do parents get hungover?
Do you know what I think it is? I think it's when you first have kids
Mm-hmm.
and you can't be hungover. If you wake up hungover with a newborn, fuck you. like,
They still need you.
yeah.
Right.
So I think you just get used to like having to get up and having to be with your kids, and then over time you're just sweet.
Do you
That's
get that
my
with the cats then?
the cats.
Do you have a cat? Do you get that?
I don't want to talk about my cat right now.
Okay, sorry. I don't know what the update is.
I've been having a bit of a mental breakdown about my cat recently, and she hasn't shown her face in a little while, but I don't want to overthink it, so
No,
I don't like talking about it.
She came back last time.
Yeah,
You'll see her at the
I've got
window.
faith. I think she's still alive, but
She will. No, she will be. Babe. She will be. She will be. She will be. I'm so sorry. I thought the cat situation was resolved.
no, the cat. I was like, do you know what? I can't even do updates on the podcast for it anymore because I will actually end up just like crying on every podcast. So I was like, that's done.
No,
the cat talk is over.
I can't upset you in Spotify studios. I promise she'll come back. She'll come back. I promise.
I have faith. So pit and peak of this week. Do we have one?
Major pet. Pet's the bad
Pet's
one.
the bad one.
Major pet is 99% sure I'm gluten intolerant.
Oh, that sucks.
Which we had a dilemma before coming here. We went into Blank Street and none of their coffees can be made gluten free. So
Well, the only non-dairy milk they have was oat milk.
yeah.
And I didn't know that some oat milks aren't gluten free.
It doesn't. I don't understand, but they're not.
Yeah,
they're not.
like surely it's just pure oats and water. I don't know. Anyway,
I don't know either, but that's a major pet because
all
the good foods have gluten in them.
I would really suffer, I think, if I had to go gluten free.
That's what we were saying. Like being vegan, I think seems much easier.
Yeah.
Than being gluten free because you can probably eat most places.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's true. Do restaurants not cater very well for it?
They do, but like it's not a great option. Like I was out for dinner this week with my friend at an Italian and like you couldn't get any of their pizzas gluten free.
Oh.
But I did get tomato pasta, but still I was like like I really wanted a pizza, but you know what, it's fine.
I can't imagine gluten free pizzas.
No, they're great. I had one
Amazing.
yesterday.
Oh.
I'll show you after.
Okay.
But no, but at least my stomach issues have gone. I don't have crippling stomach issues anymore. So
that's
you
good.
kind of weigh it up and it's kind of worth it.
Yeah.
So I suppose that's a peak as well.
Have you gone your whole life not realizing that? Like, have you always had stomach issues and then only sorted this?
I think it's in the past few years.
It's weird how you can develop an intolerance like that, isn't it?
I think you can though. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because does your body not? This might sound stupid, but I thought your body like replaced all its cells every 7 years or something. I'm sure your body like replaces all your cells or something every 7 years. So you're on like a 7-year life cycle.
Yeah.
So when your body like switches, like you could be gluten free now, and I think I am.
One day you wake up and your entire body is good. I don't think it's
overnight, like a caterpillar. No, it's definitely not like that. Someone please fact check that.
Yeah, I think it's more like over a period of 7 years because of the pace that your cells
that's
reproduce.
Not
it's
like overnight. She's a new
coming out
person.
of the chrysalis.
No, truly. So it's a pet and peak.
Yeah, because you always hear people just like randomly in their 20s all of a sudden developing hay fever, and you're like, where the fuck did that come from?
The 7-year cell cycle. What about you? What's yours?
My pit of this week. Oh, do you know what? I've had a good week. I'm going to say my pit was I had to fly here, obviously, from Belfast. If you didn't know, sorry, I don't know why I feel like I have to make this clear, but my friends that I lived with in Leeds when I was at uni there didn't know that you had to fly from Ireland to England.
How did they think you got
They
it?
thought I got the train.
But there's what? There's water.
Yeah, I know.
Like, did they think it was like a Euro tunnel underground?
I don't know.
As if Belfast would have built a Euro tunnel straight into like London Heathrow.
No, it was crazy. They were all like, "Why don't you just get the train? Is that not cheaper?" And I was like, "You're so delusional."
How long is the flight? Is that like a 40-minute?
It's only an hour. It's like 40 minutes if you're going to somewhere closer, like Liverpool or something. But to London, it's an hour. But yeah, anyway, I had to get an hour flight, and even on a short flight, it still just makes me feel like shit. Like my tummy is so bloated. I don't want TMI, but maybe I've been farting away all night.
It'll be the anxiety. And
combo of the two. So that's my pit. Peak of the week. You know what? Peak is being in here. This is fun.
No, this is me.
Excited to be here.
This is such. I think my life's peaked. Not even the week. I think my life is peaked right now, right here.
And I feel like I just knew we'd be good. Like the Irish and the Scottish girlies get it.
There we are.
Yeah.
I know the two girls in England right now when the England football's on, and we
aren't
just like we're so far removed from it.
Yeah, we walked in and they were talking about England football, and they're like, "Oh, did you watch it?" And we were like, "Absolutely not.
no.
Sorry."
We knew the score at least. Like, we knew the score.
We knew the score, but sorry, I have no interest. And also, I don't know if I should say this because I probably have English listeners, but like, I low-key wanted them to lose. Is that bad?
They're all going to drop off.
That?
They're all going to drop off.
I'm so sorry, but I did kind of want them to lose.
I was the opposite.
But I don't want them to lose with the whole domestic violence thing, obviously.
Oh, yeah. But from like from the other standpoint of just being a hater and wanting, I get you. But no, I was kind of the opposite because I was like, oh, well, Scotland's not through, so the closest thing is England. Yeah. So I was like, it's going to feel a wee bit closer at home if they win. But
Scotland even qualify to like
Scotland did qualify, and I think they went out like straight away.
Oh, right, okay.
Because
Ireland never even qualify.
I didn't even know they were part.
Didn't know that was a country.
No, obviously, no, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not good with geography, but maybe next year.
Oh God. No, the thing is, in Ireland, well, first of all, there's not enough funding, and second of all the like sporty people, they play Gaelic football or they play rugby.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
So there actually isn't like enough people just playing football in the first place, probably.
Whereas I feel like here, that's the sport like that you do that in high school.
Yeah,
like, that's, like,
it's the kind of go-to.
Like the cool boys in school are like the football. But cool
whereas
guys,
like
were they rugby guys?
Always rugby.
Oh, really?
Or if you went to one of the Catholic schools, it was always Gaelic football. So like no one plays football. No schools really do football.
What is Gaelic football?
It's just like obviously the football is like soccer, where it's just another type of football. It's a lot more aggressive. It's you can hold the ball as well, and you can like bounce it, and it's very. It's very contact.
Okay.
Like it's a pretty good game to go and watch actually. But you can't be a professional Gaelic football player. Like there's no money in it.
Right. So they go down the rugby route.
Yeah, usually.
There you go.
Yeah. Recommendation of this week. Do we have a recommendation of the week?
It can be anything.
It can be anything from a drink, a food, a beauty product, a song. Like it can literally be whatever you want.
This is so rogue from me, but that new Netflix series that's the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleader, Dallas.
I've heard of this.
Oh my gosh, right. I didn't watch like Dance Moms or anything growing up.
I love Dance Moms.
Did you ever watch The Next Step?
No.
Oh, that's going to go over your head. But it's just following these girls that want to be cheerleaders for this like really big football team in America, and like they eat, sleep, breathe this is like their life. It's the most like competitive thing to get into. And it's just so interesting. But they're like horrible to these girls. Like they'll sit and slag them off in front of them and be like, needs a makeover, needs to lose some weight. Like they're horrible. And these girls are clearly all going to be so mentally ill after this, but they're so like, this is like their life goal to be these cheerleaders. And it's so interesting to watch.
Wow.
Like it's just
insane. I feel like I'd love stuff like that.
I think you really would. It's like a documentary. It can so be like background noise.
Yeah.
But if you needed like a wee series to watch, it's so interesting. Like I was having my dinner every night watching an episode, and it's just brilliant. Yeah.
No, that sounds good. I'm actually watching Married at First Sight Australia at the moment. Have you seen it?
No.
Crazy.
Is this when they literally are turning up to a wedding and they've never met this person?
Yeah.
Does the cameras follow them after? Is that the whole show?
Yeah. So the whole show, the first time they meet each other is at the wedding, and then which is an insane concept, and then they go on honeymoon.
Right.
And then they live together in a flat, and all the other couples are also in this like flat apartment. Right. And then every now and then they have like kind of different weeks. So like one week will be like intimacy week, where they have all these challenges to do that like test their intimacy and like get them closer. And then they always have like dinner parties at the end of the week where all, I think it's like 10 or 12 couples all sit around like a big long table, and it kicks off.
That's what I was going to say. Like, must be drama. What if
it's
they
drama
fancy
central.
Someone else at the dinner?
Well,
does that happen?
You're married. It does happen, but you're married.
But you've known this person like 2 days.
I know, but you're there to like commit to this like experiment basically, and everyone questions everyone's authenticity, and everyone's up in arms, and like it's the craziest reality TV show I've ever seen. And also it's one of the only reality TV shows that still lets them drink as much as they want.
I love that.
So
like,
they
show
get
us how it actually
paralytic
is.
At these dinner parties.
Do you think the Australian one's the best one?
Yeah, Australians are brutal.
So that's a good one to start with.
Yeah, I think so.
Wait, is this maths?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I've just realised when people talk about maths.
It's Married at First Sight.
Married at First Sight. Oh my my god, okay, I need to watch
Revelation.
it. I will download that for the train home.
But the only thing is it's like 40 episodes for one season, so it's hard to get through. It's a long slog, but it's a
Right.
good like Sunday binge watch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, brilliant. I need to watch that. Do they
Yeah.
like show? Because obviously they're like living in this bubble.
Yeah.
Do they like come back and be like 6 months later, like
They
Janet
do a
and Craig are
reunion.
still together?
Yeah, they do a reunion, and then you find out who's still together, because it takes them so long. So they probably film it 6 months prior to when it actually comes out on TV. So then when they do the reunion, it's like several months after, and you actually see. But yeah, like the show take control of their social media, and everything's very hush hush because they don't want it to come out who's still together basically before you've actually seen on the reunion. But
are people going on it to become influencers, or is it not that type of dating show?
yes, so originally no, but as with any kind of big reality TV show, it has gone that way now. Yeah, and you can really see that actually in this season.
They're like, are you here for a husband, or are you here for a 6-month like contract online? Are you here for a brand deal, or your
But you
partner?
can see it so clearly, like who's.
Yeah.
It's so obvious, but it's funny. It makes for good TV.
It would just add to the show.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to watch this. Girls just discovered math. I'm like 5 years late to this, or
I know. Yeah, I think this is series 11.
oh my god,
I know.
11.
So many to catch up on.
Do I start on series
No,
1?
start on 11. Start on 11.
Okay, perfect.
What are you listening to at the moment?
Can I get mine? Can I get it up?
Oh yeah, go
I
for
use-
it.
Oh wait,
I just made the best new Spotify playlist. Can I just say?
No.
Everyone go
Listen.
follow it. It's called. Well, actually, there's going to be a million playlists called this. It's called Black Girl Summer, but I'll link it in the show notes so you can all go
Perfect.
follow it.
Yeah, I was gonna say every girl's name.
Yeah,
Playlist that this summer. You really thought you were
Original,
unique
yeah.
there. But no, Charlie
It's
XCX's
all
album.
Yeah, it's all Charlie XCX, Chapel Roy, and Sabrina Carpenter, Taylor Swift, Miley Cyrus, Lord, Marina and the Diamonds, Kesha, The Saturdays. It's those vibes.
That's such
It's
a
good
getting ready playlist.
Yeah,
So good.
I'm obsessed with it.
Sorry, that just reminded me when you said Sabrina Carpenter. The girl next to me on the tube here, and I was on that tube for maybe 20 minutes. Listen to Please, Please, Please by Sabrina Carpenter. The whole
On repeat?
on repeat. Yeah,
I do that.
I could see it on her phone, and I could hear it in her headphones. And I was like, I love that for you. This was at
No, I do that.
7:30 in the morning. And I was like, she's starting her day well. Like,
Yeah.
she's got a good routine there.
Do you not get hyperfixated on songs like
Yeah,
that?
that's why I was gonna say, like, when you're like, what are you listening to? And I'm like, I actually just have the same 2 songs on repeat right
What
now.
are they?
Role Models new song that's like, is it called something about like,
I don't know it.
it's Role Model song, Look at That Woman. The lyrics are just really sweet. Like, it's all like, I think it's very much like, look at her go, look at that woman. So I was like walking around London yesterday feeling so big girl, and the lyrics are like, look at her go, and I was like, look at me go.
Get it.
And Nomad by Clairo. They're so polar
I don't
opposite.
know that either.
Do you know
sorry.
Clairo?
No.
Emma.
Sorry.
Emma, it's not the vibe if you're...
Okay.
Bags by Clairo. You must know Bags by Clairo.
I don't know this.
Emma. I'm really hoping some of the listeners will know Clairo. This is really offensive. You should know.
Sorry.
Here's someone for you to listen to.
Okay. I'm not great when it comes to, like, I need someone to make me a playlist or like force me to listen to an album. Like, I'm not great at branching out.
You
if
just
know
like
what I
stick
mean.
to what you like and fixate on like one song.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I go through phases with music. Like, I'll get like really fixated on like rap music, and then I'll get really obsessed with Taylor Swift, and then and it's like all over the place. Like, sometimes it'll be jazz music. Like, I don't have a set. I'm not like just a pop girl. Do you know what I mean? But I just like
when people are like, what type of music do you listen to? And you're like, everything.
literally
Yeah.
everything.
Oh, well, I need to listen to your playlist. That's such a...
Yeah.
I want to be getting ready for a night out with that playlist.
Yeah, that is the vibes for getting ready for a night out this summer, definitely.
100%. Oh, I love that.
Okay, I think we're all good to move on to this week's podcast topic. I know we've already kind of discussed what it is. We're going to be talking a little bit about the changing landscape of social media and the shift in the content we're consuming, and I guess what we see for influencers and the
of
future.
influencers.
And yeah,
I think it's so interesting to hear like what other people are thinking, because we're looking at this from like a content creator perspective.
yeah,
But even the girls I've spoken to, and I've spoken to loads of girls about this, the ones who are just watching influencers and stuff, they all feel exactly the same.
yes. But I was also thinking about this earlier, and I was like, do you know what though? There probably is a whole other side of it that are still, like, if I was to think of myself, say 5 years ago,
Yeah.
you'd probably still be into that stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, maybe it's more a maturity thing,
Mhm.
or just like wanting more from your content, and that's why you kind of gravitate towards different types of content as a result. I don't know. I personally think, well, things have obviously changed so much within the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And if you think back to like the OG kind of influencers, there was like the Zoella days
Zoella, Tanya Bar,
when we just had
Alfie.
YouTube, really.
When I think content just was so much like simpler back then. Like we would sit down and watch people sit down for 15 minutes and just shove marshmallows in their mouth or do
Oh,
like
yeah.
who knows me better, like best friend or boyfriend. I don't think anyone's attention span right now, they would sit down and just watch someone for 15 minutes do
No.
that. I would love that though. But I think content was so much content was so unserious back then.
It was so unserious, and I think that was a result of the like all you saw was just like serious stuff on TV and on the news.
Yeah.
There wasn't podcasts, there wasn't like unserious things on
Yeah.
TikTok and Instagram. So like you kind of, I don't know, maybe that was just that was the escapism from what we were seeing at the time.
And I think because they just felt like normal people, like we wanted them to see normal. We wanted to see like just normal people do normal things because we'd never had access to people like that before.
Yeah. And there probably wasn't the money in it that there is now.
No.
So there wasn't like this, I guess, ulterior motive to sell anything. It was literally just someone's passion of them sitting down and filming themselves and having fun with the edit and that
like
kind of
they
thing.
were purely making content, I think, because they enjoyed content. I think obviously there was money in it, but I don't think you could make money on YouTube back in the day as quickly as say you could make money on TikTok now. I think you could like blow up now and then you could immediately start making money. I
Yeah.
don't think you could do that back in the day. So like all these Zoella, Alfie days, like they were making content because they enjoyed content and they
Yeah.
just happened to be making so many book deals and stuff
Yeah.
on the side.
The way they made money was very different back
Yeah.
then. It wasn't like, I don't know, it was like Zoella and X Boots and her big Christmas calendar. Not the advent calendar.
But Tanya Burr's makeup line as well.
Oh,
We
yeah.
were talking about that the other day. That was brilliant.
I never used that.
Did you not?
No.
Were you too ahead of the time? Were you already on your NARS?
I don't know. When would that have been?
I think I was like 13 at the time.
Yeah. I was obsessed with Jaclyn Hill. She was my makeup guru.
I forgot about Jaclyn Hill.
I still follow her. I do
Jaclyn
love
Hill
her.
and Huda Beauty and all them girls.
Yeah, Jaclyn Hill was she taught me how to contour.
What's she doing nowadays? Does she?
She's still thriving.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, we need to check up on Jaclyn Hill.
But it's weird because like obviously what she was so known for were these like really long, like nearly hour long YouTube tutorials,
Yeah.
fully explaining everything.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I don't know that there's much of a need for that anymore. I feel like everyone knows how to do their makeup these days. So you just want to know products. Do you know what I mean?
Or just one specific technique.
Trick or yeah.
I think people are more. Okay, I don't need to watch a whole video to learn how to do. If I want to know how to do eyeliner, I'll just search a 60-second video on eyeliner.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd even have the attention span nowadays for that.
It would definitely be a more put it on in the background kind of thing. Whereas I used to sit down and watch YouTube like you would sit down and watch TV or Netflix.
No,
kind of thing.
100%.
Yeah, that was like my I'm still to this day not really a TV person. I'm very much more like a YouTube or I don't know, scroll or
Yeah.
get the Kindle out. Whereas like some people really just like are still in the habit of always putting the TV on. Like my parents are definitely more TV people.
Totally like dinner or after dinner, like pop TV on, or like I think that stems from people watching the news on TV.
Yeah.
I think, but
There is something nice about like I don't know, when I walk into my parents' house and the TV's always just on and like say the Olympics are on or right now Wimbledon's on and it's like
Yeah.
it's just on and you know what's going on, whereas I never know what's going on. Like I
Yeah.
feel so out of it all the time.
that's how I feel with breakfast TV shows.
Yeah.
And nowadays, like I would only see breakfast TV shows like this morning and stuff if I was like at the doctor's, at the dentist, and it's playing, and
Yeah.
I love that.
It feels
like,
nostalgic.
it does. I'm like, let me just stay in this waiting room and catch up with this morning. So when I was home recently, like my mom, like we just have TV with like normal channels. Like no one has normal channels on their TV nowadays. It's all just streaming services. I was like buzzing to be able to watch all the breakfast TV shows, and they're obviously just chatting like absolute shite.
Oh,
But
completely.
I love it. I eat it up.
Yeah.
And they're like making like a salmon dish at like 9 in the
Yeah.
morning, and I eat it up. I honestly love it.
Or like Loose Women just being on all
Yeah,
day.
they're so problematic.
I
though,
know.
but it is interesting just to see.
Yeah. I love when Olivia Atwood goes on it though, and I see her little Instagram clips of her basically counteracting everyone's
Yeah,
opinions.
she's coming in there to shake it
going
up,
in there
yeah.
hot, like.
She's like, now let me tell you how it actually
Yeah.
is. No, I love her for doing that.
I know. And then I feel like there was another shift, and it was like when Instagram popped off, and we kind of moved into this real Instagrammer body era. You know, the Kylie Jenners of the day. Not that Kylie Jenner isn't still Kylie Jenner, but do you know what I mean?
Like the King Kylie era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like Instagram was the app, like it was the place to be. And and it was no videos at this time. If you think about it, there was no stories. You couldn't even upload a video on Instagram.
Yeah, reels were not a thing.
It was
you could do a 10-second
photos.
video.
Could you?
I think you used to be able to post 10-second grids videos, but no one was using that.
Yeah. So it was solely photos. So it was just like these posy pics, and that from that I feel like came the fashion influencer.
Yeah, because I think a lot of influencers started as like fashion bloggers, like grid posts. Here's my outfit. They probably started doing brand deals. Like I know a lot of like the big influencer girls in Scotland. Like most of them started off as Instagram fashion influencers, and a lot of them are still doing that. That's where like the money is, I think, doing like the brand deals on
the big
Instagram.
Fast fashion brands.
But yeah, I think loads of them started out with fast fashion on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then platformed that into TikTok.
When TikTok came along, I feel like it shifted things a little bit. Like I think everyone was bored of this like stagnant Instagram feeling, no personality, all about just what you look like, everyone face tuning everything.
Very consumeristic.
Yeah.
Like you go on, it's all the new in section just off the latest.
Yeah.
All the brands. Like you just felt you were shopping a bit.
Yeah, 100%. And also I found it for me anyway to be quite toxic in a sense, because it was just all these beautiful girls and it was just a comparison thing for me, and you were just scrolling being like, want her body, oh my god, fuck my life, the like next person, oh my god, again, like,
and feeling like you couldn't keep up with like needing to buy all these new things that you're seeing online as well. Yeah, no, I think it's obviously a lot of it is the same niche of girl. Like there wasn't much variation in that. Like,
no, there really wasn't.
You log on to Instagram and it's just the same girl kind of copy and paste type thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of that niche.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds really nasty. I don't mean that in
no,
a nasty
no harm
way.
to them. They're fucking stunning.
No, but a lot of them. No, that sounds really nasty. I can't. That I wasn't trying to be mean. It's like there's not much variation in a lot of these industries.
Yeah, and I think because of that, we were probably craving something that like showed real a variation of people for a start, and just more real life shit.
Yeah, people love to see behind the scenes.
Yeah,
when a lot of these fashion bloggers would maybe just post little things that they were doing in the day, that probably got a really good reception online. People probably really loved that and were like, we want to see more of that.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably why a lot of these girls started being like, oh, I'll show you a day in the life type thing.
Yeah.
Which naturally can turn into vlogs and everything.
Yeah. But then it's so weird how these different platforms, like, they want to go in a certain way, and I feel like they always want to go in a way that we don't want them to. Do you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
So, for example, with Instagram, like, and then they started pushing like the whole shopping thing on Instagram, and what did they bring in that everyone hated for a while? I can't even remember. But then TikTok is now really pushing TikTok Shop, and every other video feels like an ad. And I don't know, I just feel like we get these new apps and we have this like new fun thing and everyone's so excited about it because it's like so different from the last, and it's what we needed based off of what we didn't have from the previous types of content or social media platforms. And then they try and steer it in this like really commercial way, and you're like, this isn't what I came here for.
It's always fun until it becomes commercialized.
Yeah.
This is what I was talking about in that video. I was saying how back in the day on YouTube, if Zoella or Tanya Bird did like a what's in my bag video, it would just be so relatable, and it would so be like, okay, this is genuinely representing what's in my bag. But nowadays, if someone did a what's in my bag on TikTok, they would so link the bag on TikTok Shop.
Oh, they'd link on all the contents of it. Yeah.
And half the stuff people sell on TikTok Shop, I'm like, I don't think you actually use that. I think you're just saying you use it because obviously then you can sell it. Do you remember when
Yeah.
that hair oil? Do you remember when everyone was talking about that
So
hair
this
oil?
happens time and time again where there'll be like a product that you can quite clearly tell TikTok Shop are very much pushing.
Yeah, like the commission's
And
high.
yeah,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, no joke, every other video is someone else. Like for a while, it was those lights, the selfie lights,
Yes.
and then it was the phone case stickers, and
Not
it was
us
the
both
hair
with
oils.
them, though.
Yeah, no, not me with my phone
They are
case.
actually good though, but
Yeah, no, they are.
besides the point.
But you know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
always like another product that you can just tell they're pushing in every other video, and you're just like, oh my god, please have a day off.
Yes.
Like, please.
Yeah. The hair oil, I remember all the girls being like, I've been using this for a year. And I'm like, babe, you didn't know that existed like 2 weeks ago. TikTok's just been like, the commission on this is really high.
It's really high.
And they're
yeah.
like, but that's when like you start to distrust influencers and things because
Yeah.
they'll pull up these photos that'll be like, here's my hair before, here's my hair after. And I'm like, I don't think you even knew this existed 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I'm very skeptical. I think that
With extensions and without.
yeah. I'm so skeptical of ads and things like that online nowadays.
Well, I think everyone is now.
Yeah.
So I think back in the day, like brands will tell you this. Back in the day, you used to quite literally be able to buy your consumers. Like if you put an ad out onto Instagram, you would see the return straight away.
Yeah.
Like that ad would pay off.
Yeah.
Whereas now, no one wants to trust ads anymore.
No.
Everyone's very hesitant about it, and also with the whole they've really like locked down on labeling things as how you label things as ads basically. So like even when it's gifted, it has to be ad and everything now. And I think as a result of just like constantly seeing this ad thing and then combination of TikTok Shop coming up all the time, it's like everyone's just overwhelmed with ads, and you have to be a lot more selective and choose what you believe, and also then go away and do your own research, not just be like, you know, you have to be a bit more savvy as a consumer.
Yeah, totally.
I don't know about you, but I really notice for me recently, because everything feels so in your face, Addie, I've really like shifted in what I consume. So I listen to a lot of podcasts. I watch a lot of like YouTube videos that are actually informative. Now, don't get me wrong, I do watch a lot of trash as well. And I like to think I've tried to curate a For You page that I actually find like really interesting.
Yeah. I totally get what you mean. Like a For You page with content that's got a bit more substance than just someone's day in my life. Here's how I do my makeup. Like I kind of want to be seeking a bit more information.
Yeah.
Or like, education makes it sound like I'm logging on to like study. Not like that at all. But I kind of want to be coming online now and learning something.
Yeah.
Discovering something. That's kind of the same reason you listen to podcasts.
Yeah, definitely. And that's why I loved your Taboo Talks on the bus as well, because it was like bringing up topics that I would tend to listen to on different podcasts or speak about in my podcast as well.
But like condensed.
Yeah, condensed.
Yeah. I think that's the type. I think since I started making that kind of content, I've then just enjoyed watching that type of content more.
Yeah.
But I love making them because I then learned so much. And since I started making them, I've kind of stopped making fashion videos. I still make some now and again, but I used to, like, I built my TikTok making vlogs and making like hauls and makeup videos. And since I started making really like substantial kind of educational content, I don't really enjoy that as much more because I'm like, I need more substance.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's really reflected now in what I watch as well. Have you got into like video essays and stuff? Like, do you ever watch them?
No, I saw you mention this on the Taboo Talks you did on this topic, and I've never actually seen one of them. No, so is it just someone speaking? But
have you never seen that video of the guy? He's called Mike's Mike, and he did like a 4-hour video talk, like debunking the whole of Pretty Little Liars.
No, I haven't seen that.
It's just people, there'll be video essays about anything. But someone will just sit with a mic.
So like you see them, they're
sometimes they'll have like a whiteboard, they'll have visuals, they'll be like mapping stuff out behind you. Sometimes
so it's kind of like a podcast.
It literally it literally is a podcast.
Yeah. But a bit more planned, like
but
scripted.
It'll be like a topic.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it's literally a podcast, but you'll get them about anything. But sometimes when I'm cooking, I'll just put one on. A lot of the time with video essays and stuff, people will talk through like TV series. That Baby Reindeer, I watched a whole video essay about Baby Reindeer before I watched it because they're just like kind of like not annotating it, but did you enjoy English in school? Like I feel like you can really tell I liked English in school. It's kind of that.
God, no, I didn't like English in school.
I don't think you're gonna love video essays then. Carry on, sorry. I feel like I went so
Do you know
off
what
topic.
though? I didn't like English in school. Sorry, this is so off topic. I didn't like English in school because I didn't like what we were writing about. Whereas once I got to uni and I was writing essays on things I really enjoyed, I
Yeah.
loved the essay side of things. So I felt like I went my whole school life being like, I can't write essays, I'm a terrible essay writer. And then I got to uni and I was like, I'm thriving writing this essay.
You just actually need to write about something you're actually interested
Yeah.
in. Yeah, there you go then.
And actually, I have recently been craving, wanting, so crazy of me because I always said I would never do this to myself, but I have recently been craving doing a master's. I just
Okay.
kind of like have this feeling I want to be back in higher education again. And I think it's just stemming from the fact that I know I love learning and researching and like, especially in topics I'm interested in. And I don't think I need to satisfy that craving by doing a master's. I think I can just do some research and like do a podcast on these things.
I think it is just craving a bit more substance.
Yeah, no,
to learn
100%.
again.
And I think I can channel that energy into the podcast, but you know what it's like when you don't have a deadline or someone holding you to doing this research. Or
Do you think the pressure like helps a bit?
yeah, definitely. I work under pressure.
But
100%.
you do quite like philosophical, like deep.
I go through phases
conversations,
of it. Yeah, I definitely go through phases of it.
Do you think that really fulfills you with
Yeah.
the content? Yeah.
I love like really taking a deep dive into a topic, like reading a few books about it, getting like listening to other people's perspectives on different podcasts or different articles, and then just like kind of collating everything, talking about it, and then also saying like from my
You
experience
can
as
then
well.
just like spell that out to other
Yeah.
people. Yeah.
That's like one of my favorite things.
So do
about
you
the
find
podcast.
I was gonna what you were saying about like your For You page, going back to that. Sorry, my mind's going so blank. Where were we going? I feel like we keep getting into the topic and then I'm
I
forgetting.
know,
where
and then
were
we
going.
end up in a whole other spiel. Honestly, my free page is pure cooking and videos about feminism.
I think that sounds brilliant. Even the cooking, you're learning lots from that. I feel like even
I
with
love
that, you
cooking
walk away with so
videos.
much. Not even just like you're learning stuff, like you're getting inspiration. I
Yeah.
think the way forward, people really want content they're like learning from and getting loads of inspiration from.
Yeah.
That I feel like we all know about, like we're all like kind of aware of how much time we spend on our phone.
Oh, it's so
we all
bad.
feel guilty about it. Like I feel like doom scrolling is such a thing now, but I feel like people are now like, okay, I don't want to be wasting my time on my phone. Like I kind of want to walk away. Obviously, like, I love a doom scroll. Like get me
Yeah.
in a dark room, get me an hour before bed
Hungover.
to like watch absolute trash. But I think people are now expecting a bit more. Like, do you remember when Emma Chamberlain got hounded online? Everyone started going in on her, saying how her podcast like wasn't like deep enough, like wasn't.
I didn't see this.
Do you
but
not remember this? Everyone was like, she needs to go to college. Am I
No.
chronically online? Emma Chamberlain basically got like witch hunted recently. Recently as in like a few months ago.
Right.
Everyone being like, Emma Chamberlain's coming to these realizations on her podcast that I had when I was 9 years old. Like she
I
chronically
like her podcast.
So do
She's such
I.
a soothing voice, and she's just very.
It's very friendly.
Yeah.
But everyone was like, she needs to go to college. Her podcast isn't deep enough. And I just think that
What?
really reflects the way people are now expecting so much more from content.
But like, she's never been
came
known
on-
for.
Yeah.
Like, her videos have always just been her chatting shit and like being chill and being relatable, and I don't know.
just her big sister life advice
Yeah.
type vibe. But no, she got like so much hate. Everyone saying she needed to go to college, that she wasn't just like philosophical and insightful enough. And she kind of like, I think she stopped making the podcast for a while, then came back and was recently and has like gone back to her old podcast art, has like stripped it back, and is now she's like, no, I don't care, I'm going to carry on making it. But
As she should.
I think that's when I started noticing this shift online
Or people
of
demanding.
people demanding a bit like, but also just go.
I think
listen
there
to
will
something
always
else.
be space though for just like very like the type of content that just either relaxes you or just like takes you out of where
Yeah.
you're at. Maybe you're stressed, or even like sometimes like in the same way you just want to watch trash TV, like trash reality TV.
Mhm.
Sometimes you just want to listen to someone talk absolute shite on a podcast and
It's
zone out.
such a comfort YouTuber
Yeah.
or podcaster type thing.
Like
yeah.
I don't always want to zone in and be like and having to like fully listen to every word
Yeah.
and rewind if I missed a bit, and
Mhm.
you know what I mean. Sometimes you just want things on in the background, and it's just a comforting thing. Like I guess I do treat podcasts like the way people would have the TV on in the background and stuff, and especially living on my own and kind of going for the entire day sometimes without seeing anyone until the evening or whatever. like I need that comfort of someone else's voice.
Yeah.
If I was just like just me all day, I would go insane.
Alone with your thoughts.
Yeah.
No, totally. It's like just having that like noise in the background.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
absolute
sorry.
comfort.
Speaking on being alone with your thoughts, so I just have to tell this. Yesterday on the plane, I was in the middle seat.
Oh.
Either side of me, two middle-aged men in suits, backpack, no other luggage, just a little backpack, not an AirPod, not a book, not a phone, nothing in sight. They sat that entire plane journey, both of them like this, looking around the place in complete silence with no form of anything, and I was like, you guys are fucking terrifying.
I want to know what was going on up there. Like,
Literally.
an AirPod would have fit in that
Like,
backpack.
fully raw dogging a flight is crazy.
How long do you think you could do that for? Like, put you on a flight, raw
Oh.
dog. How long do you think you genuinely would last?
So I accidentally did it for a 9-hour flight once.
You're joking.
So, right, I was out drinking the night before.
Mm-hmm.
I was flying from Sydney to Bali, which I thought was a 3-hour flight. No one told me it was like 8 or 9 hours away. And anyway, I get on the flight. I've been because I was hungover. I missed my alarm, woke up, had to run to the train station. The train wasn't there, had to get an Uber. Anyway, I eventually make it there. I'm frantic. My phone's nearly dead. I haven't downloaded anything. I look at the flight. I'm walking onto the flight. I look at the flight attendant. I'm like, oh, how long is this plane? She goes, 8 hours. And I was like,
You're joking.
oh my God. I was trying to download things last minute and my phone died.
By yourself as well.
By myself. My boyfriend, not my ex-boyfriend, was getting the plane the next day or something.
I bet you read that like the plane
Oh,
magazine cover to cover. You definitely knew the price of every single thing.
And it
in that
wasn't even at
magazine.
like a good time to go to sleep or anything. It was like in the middle of the day.
And you're hungover.
Yeah.
Emma, that sounds absolutely vile
No.
as hell. You never make that mistake again. Even an hour though, I don't know how those men did it.
But I feel like those men would do the same for like a 5-hour flight. Like
No,
I
definitely.
just can't imagine them ever like whipping out a book or like.
Were they like were they like millennial? Do you think they're just from the generation where they're not absolutely addicted to their phones? And
Millennials are addicted to their phone. I would say they're more like my dad's age kind of thing.
what is that? What is that called? Boomer.
Boomers? Is it boomers?
Is it?
Or Gen what?
Gen X?
Oh my God, I don't know. Sorry.
Boomer sounds like such an insult, but that isn't. Like, people have really turned that into an insult. But are our parents boomers?
I think. I don't know. I should know this. I literally studied marketing. Like you're meant to know the different
Your
demographics.
target audiences, yeah.
I've no idea.
After millennial, I don't know, but
Yeah.
we keep going so off.
I know.
We're like, so
This is
boomers
what-
and masters.
This is literally what I do every single episode, and then I'm like, wait, how did I get here and what was my point? So I feel like when there's a rise of anything,
Mm-hmm.
right? So obviously rise of social media, rise of just like short form content and like this constant like being on our phones, doom scrolling, everything. With the rise of anything, I always think there's also a rise of the opposite thing in reaction to that.
Yeah.
So for example, like with the rise of fast fashion, there's all of a sudden more people wanting to shop secondhand and
yeah, the
vintage.
sustainability.
And I think with the rise of like digital media, there's also this rise of like wanting more in-person contact and stuff as well now, and especially because everyone works from home and like
Yeah.
we're very cut off, I think, from the world and from like relationships just aren't really the same. Like human interaction isn't really the same as what it used to be, and how like we're all anxious, we're all doom scrolling, we're all just like, I don't
I
know.
feel like everyone's come to that realization a bit more recently. I
Yeah.
think everyone's started to. Obviously, we always knew our phones were kind of bad for us.
Yeah.
But I think everyone's starting to realize recently, like, this isn't healthy for me. Even
No.
just like what you were talking about, following lots of girls online who you just compared yourself to.
Yeah.
I think people are really like clicking on recently, being like, this isn't good for
Yeah.
me, and that's why we're seeing such a like shift in society. Like, have you noticed, like, look at all the run clubs?
No, this
Not
is
just
what I
the
was gonna
fact
say.
everyone's running. Clubs are becoming so big.
Yeah, so
community
in-person
events.
things are becoming
Yeah.
so like I feel like a way bigger thing now, and run clubs. It's hilarious. Like
I think it's
every
brilliant.
fucking cafe in Belfast has a run club now.
Everyone says that like Strava and run clubs are the new dating app. Like, I think it was like Dazed or Vogue or someone published an article the other day being like, so run clubs are the new Hinge.
Yeah.
Like, the way to like meet people and connect with people, where I think used to be social media was like the go-to, is
Yeah.
becoming all these like events and clubs, and I think it's brilliant. Like,
I think it's really
we are
good.
bringing back IRL connection. Like,
Yeah.
not just used IRL out loud. We're bringing back real life connection. And I think it's the way forward. But I think the like knock on effect of that is that like the space and the demand for online platforms and people is going to decrease, or I think that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, and even things like book clubs are more of a thing now. And I actually have a book club on Instagram, like it's just like a broadcast channel kind of thing. But I really want to start doing meetups for that, because I feel like it'd be so much nicer to actually meet everyone in those scenarios as well. Everyone's gonna get on. Do you know what I mean?
That would be a room full of the nicest people, I think.
Like, it's just, it's gonna be all kind of the same type of people, and so I think it's a really nice way to meet people when it's through these clubs, because straight away you have a common interest.
Yeah,
it's like with the running, like straight away
it's like a
common
conversation
interest, so,
topic as well. I've seen loads of book clubs. Like, I think that's becoming a really, really popular thing.
Yeah.
Kayla Moncrief.
Yeah, she's doing her book
swaps. She's
going
to Australia and stuff.
I know.
She's bringing it there, so there's so the demand for that.
Yeah.
Book clubs and running is like the huge
They say
thing
it's
right
the new
now,
quarter life crisis.
They think. I've seen people saying like the running, it's like, well, we just can't afford the clubs anymore. Like, the clubs are so expensive, so everyone's just running. Like, there's so many reasons why these are all popular, but I do think it's like as deep rooted in just people wanting more like substantial connection with each other.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm not part of any book clubs. I need to get in your broadcast channel.
Oh my god, do I just
sounds
do one book a
lovely.
month, and I just post it on there. It's
and
really
everyone
cute.
reads it.
Yeah,
and then you all chat about
well, that's the thing with the broadcast channel, is that no one else can send into it. So it's at the
it.
moment,
So you're
it's
just telling
literally-
everyone what you think, and they're like, great.
Yeah, I post the book. If there's a couple of options, like I'll do a poll so people can vote. Then like halfway through the month, I'll just do like, how are we getting on with the book, and you vote, and then you can leave question boxes so they can respond to me, but then other people can't see it. So
But
it's
it's
like,
still that community
but it's
engagement. I think you should honestly start doing in real life meetups, because I think
Also,
the girls would love that.
Yeah, I did do a couple before, and I did like cold water swims.
Did you?
Yeah, in Belfast, and I really wanted to get back into that this summer and do a couple of cold water swim book club meetups, and the weather's just not been the one.
It's very that's very much like the whole Australian wellness culture, which they can do that there because they know it's going to be nice. But
I know.
I think you could do a cold water swim in the rain.
I could, but I don't really want to.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't think I'd turn up to that. But no, that's such a big one as well. Sorry, I forgot when we were talking about running and the book club. Like, I forgot like the cold water
swim.
The cold water swim, when that popped up. Yeah, everyone started doing that.
It's like a cult.
Yeah.
You know what's really culty to me? Hot yoga.
What's that? Is when
like
in the heated rooms.
Yeah.
Is that a
It's
big
so
thing? That's not really hit Scotland yet.
Oh, really?
The girls haven't discovered that yet. Give it 5 years and they'll be like, here, have you heard of hot yoga? I've just discovered this thing. Hot yoga.
Yeah, hot yoga is really culty to me. Also, well, I guess cold water swimming is quite culty, but it's quite culty in a wholesome sense. Like, everyone's in their dry robes after with their coffee and like giving out biscuits and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's quite a cute community to be a part of. Like, if you live by the sea, it'd be so nice to be a part of that. You're not by the sea, are you?
Edinburgh has a beach.
Oh,
Edinburgh
does
actually
it?
does. Where I'm from, like my family home, very like coastal, beachy, and then I moved to the city. But Edinburgh does have a beach, which I didn't know for like the first like year I lived there. I didn't know there was a beach.
I did not know it was.
There's
on
like
the coast.
a beach, like 20-minute bus drive. There's a whole beach, and it's so sweet. Like, actually, a lot of the girls love a cold water dip there. There's a lot of run clubs that like run club and cold water dipping. on the beach.
Really?
But there's like pizza places and stuff like at the pier. Like, it's actually
Oh,
really
that's
sweet.
cute.
Yeah.
But Glasgow's not on the coast, isn't it? Not.
No, Glasgow is. There's a big river that goes through it, but no, it's not on the coast.
Okay,
Testing your
so-
Scotland geography.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's no cold water dips in Glasgow.
I would love to get into the habit more of being in these communities and doing more like in-person things, and like just pushing myself out of my comfort zone a bit, because I can be such like, so when I choose to go out and when I choose to be with people, I am quite extroverted, but I would
Right.
say it has to be on my terms, otherwise I'm introverted.
Like, you need to organise it? Or?
No, not that I need to organise it, but like, I need my alone time. I need to recharge. I like, if I'm out when I don't want to be out, like, I will like not talk to anyone.
Non-verbal at the
Yeah.
function. Yeah.
But I really want to get in the habit of doing these more in-person things, and my issue is that I get scared that, well, I know obviously it's not the case for the run clubs and for cold water swimming and stuff. But I hate everything being centered around alcohol.
I was about to say that, yeah. And I think a lot of people feel like they need that for the confidence of them meeting new
Yeah,
people.
well,
That
that's the
alcohol is
thing.
so always just brought into these events.
Yeah, and it's just so normalized that like, oh, you'll just have and also you kind of do feel like, yeah, you need it when it's new people. Like maybe if I was with people I was comfortable with and friends, it wouldn't be such a thing. But I don't know. I think I'd feel a bit weird. Or not weird, because I can be around drunk people and not drink. Because sometimes I think it's like a bit of a placebo, and you actually just feel
You like
when
pick up
everyone
their
else is.
energy,
Yeah. But I can't. Well, first of all, I can't midweek drink because it throws me off so much, and secondly, I don't even like drinking every weekend. And actually, I'm sober at the moment until mid-September.
Mid-September, good
Yeah,
for you.
since last week.
There's you, me, gluten-free and sober all of a sudden. We'll see how long that lasts. I think if you're drinking and it's just social, like 1 or 2 drinks, and like, what's the point? Like, if you were to have drinks at a book club, no one's getting smashed at the book club.
Yeah.
So what's the point? I don't know if that's a really unhealthy way to look at it, but like,
No,
it's, like,
I know
one
what you
drink for
mean, because that's like an
confidence.
all or nothing kind of
Yeah.
way to look at it. But I agree.
I know, like, do you think one drink give you confidence? Because I see at a book club, like, I'm not getting smashed at a book club, so I'm like, well, we don't need to drink at all. But that sounds really
Yeah.
unhinged to say that.
I don't think it would make me more confident. I think if anything, it would just make me start drinking more. Like I wouldn't trust myself to only. Well, I don't know.
And then
'cause
you'd be doing it for the sake of it, and like it
Yeah.
could have just been like a really wholesome
Exactly.
event. Yeah, I think that's another thing I've noticed. So, like, I think people are starting to pick up on how many events are centered around alcohol, that I'm noticing a lot more being like exclusively alcohol free, because they're like going. It's all just that community that they're trying to build. They're trying to be like genuine connections, that they're trying to like peel it away from alcohol.
Yeah, and I remember when I first went to like a couple of influencer events, and it was all the free alcohol everywhere. And at the time I was in uni, and I was so excited by it, and I got drunk a few times, and then I was like, I'm never drinking at these ever again.
One thing about an
It's
influencer event, they
mortifying.
will have an open bar. The first time, this is terrible to say, but the first time I ever went to an influencer event that had an open bar, I didn't get home till 7 in the morning.
Oh my God.
And then I went online. Sorry, can I just clarify a bit as well? This was at Mackie and Ramen.
This is where?
Mackie and Ramen.
I don't know that.
Oh, is that not a chain?
No.
Oh, it's a ramen restaurant.
Okay.
And I went online the next day, and there was these videos of me taking shots with like the social media manager. Like that was meant to be a wholesome ramen and drinks for like a store launch.
No, that would have
Why
been
am I home at 7 in the morning? But even as well, I think like it's hard, like at these influencer events, they're all open bars, so people do get smashed, and then you're not making genuine connections, and it's just this like networky, all these girls in a room type thing, which would be so nice to actually make genuine connections with these girls that are all doing the same thing.
It would be, and it'd be really nice, because I don't really have any self-employed friends at home. Do you?
No,
and I would love to
and
have
I'm always
that.
doing random things that, like, on it. Well, actually, I started working now. I've gone back to work recently.
I don't really know. I'm not really part of that scene in Belfast. I kind of like to keep to myself, which is probably a bad thing.
Also, I have been watching, you know, when you open YouTube, you'll have all like your faves, your comfort YouTubers that have like just posted, and then YouTube will recommend you some random person, and their video has like 100 views. I have been eating them up.
Really?
See, when I'm getting ready
That's
in the
so
morning,
nice to do.
it's so lovely, because obviously, like, if I'm like watching, I love a bit of Zoella still. It's very curated. Like, she's like a huge influencer. It's so nice just getting ready and someone else is just going about their day, but they're like the most normal person. Because if you've got 100 subscribers on YouTube, like, you're not this. That's not like your full-time job.
Yeah.
So nice. It feels so like FaceTime with a friend type vibe, because people, like, there's a vlog for everything on YouTube. There's so many just normal people that will just like vlog around their 9 to 5, show what they're making for dinner type thing.
Yeah.
Chat about what's going on in their life. Genuinely watch them. Like, next time you open YouTube and there's like the wee person with 100 subscribers and their video's got like 20 views, genuinely watch it, because they're so sweet. And I made a video about this on TikTok, and so many people in the comments were like, same. I think YouTube's really like pushing out smaller creators. Yeah, you should watch them, because they're genuinely, it's just nice. It feels very real, because obviously what we were talking about, a lot of content online, it's very like they're trying to sell you stuff. It's all linked to TikTok Shop.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about YouTube, or like any long form content, I think, is that it's so much more just
real.
Real. And like a lot of the time with short form content, what you don't get is like context, or it can all be quite clickbaity, or like
Yeah.
just trying to suck you in with like the hook line and then sell you
Yeah.
something. Like it's very as if everyone's aiming for a viral video.
Yeah.
And you can tell.
Like they're very
Whereas you can't,
crafted.
there's no such thing as, well, I guess there is such thing as a viral long form video, but you know what I mean?
No,
It's not the
totally.
same.
Is it virality? Like
Yeah.
everyone trying to go viral.
Yeah.
So like the videos, I feel like a lot of videos on TikTok, like there's so much thought gone into what you're talking about, like every single part of it that's too curated, so it doesn't
It's
feel real.
snappy and it's,
Like
yeah.
they've probably filmed that intro like 4 different times and
Yeah.
like tested which
I know
one.
I do.
And I heard you in the bathroom earlier. She's in the bathroom waiting on her outside the bathroom. And I hear her go like 4 times. She's like, these bathrooms are so cool. These bathrooms are so cool. It was so funny. I totally get
She
it.
just repeated it back to me. I was like, oh.
No, it was so funny because I'm exactly the same. But no one on YouTube's really doing that so much. Not that like your videos are going to seem like fake because you've said the bathroom's cool twice, but everything seems almost like too perfect and too crafted on TikTok. That and it loses its relatability a bit. Like sometimes you just want to stick on a YouTuber and feel like you can see yourself in them.
Yeah.
I've unfollowed a lot of people recently online.
Yeah, I go through big unfollowing sprees probably every 6 months.
Yeah.
Do a big clear out. Do you ever find yourself with making content that you ever catch yourself trying to like play into this, like wanting to go viral or wanting to, I guess, please the algorithm and, you know, go that, and as opposed to like staying to what you do?
Well, I made a video recently. My sister was like in my room when I made it. And then after I finished it, she was like, your videos are so much better when you're a bit more yourself. And I was like, what? She was like, I just think like you're not like as funny in your videos and like you're not. She was like, I just think you should let your personality out a bit more. And then I was thinking, I was like, well, yeah, like when I made that video, it was just one of me talking about like through like trends of like social media. And like when I was making it, I was thinking like, okay, I need to make these clips as short as possible so I can keep people's attention span.
Yeah.
But obviously my sister Emma, same name as you, she's not a content creator. Like she's so far removed from that she clearly just thinks no personality is so much better.
Yeah.
And she really like, I think I sat there and I was like, whoa, like she's actually kind of right. Not that I don't think I'm not myself in my videos, but I think I do withhold like some of my personality or humor sometimes because you are more thinking like, no, I need to keep people's attention span. I need to, like, this is what will perform
100%,
better.
yeah.
Whereas I do YouTube as well, and that's where it's so like 20-minute vlogs of me. Like that's where it's so just normal, and I think that's what she was meaning. Like tap into that more.
Yeah.
Because I think you can.
It is hard to find a balance with it.
Do you feel like that? Like, do you feel like you ever need to be like? Do you ever catch yourself and you're like, I'm deep in this too much?
Yes. I mean, I think there's ways you can like incorporate what performs better into your content by like testing a few things out while still staying true to like what you do and what you like, and not just like going AWOL just to go viral or to fit an algorithm. But like same with what you're saying there about like bring your like it's hard to bring your personality into it when you're trying to make these like recently I was editing just a little styling video, and you know I had all these moments where I was like being sarcastic and like saying these different things, and I was like, I just have to cut it all off. Like there's no space for this. People are gonna zone out.
I wonder if you posted them both though, like the one with all that in, like which one would do better. But I genuinely we like obviously see this from like more of like a marketing perspective because like this is our job and like we know it's not, it mostly like it's the shorter ones that do well because people's attention span isn't there. Like, they just want it short. It's so hard to see it from both sides, but I think because we see this from like the creator perspective, like we know like sometimes you do just have to like tap into these things, especially when it's, I think only when it's TikTok you can have to think people's attention span is not there. I need to like I need to hook them within the first 3 seconds. Like in my videos on the bus, like the first, they like didn't used to do that well. Because I would start them with this really long intro, and then one day I posted one and I included like, not clickbaity because it wasn't at all clickbaity because like it was real, but I included like a bit of the middle at the start where I was saying something like juicy, and then that video got like 2 million views. So now at the start of them all,
that's what I mean, just like finding these different ways
so like
to
that's
work for you.
Real, but you do have to think about things like that.
Do you ever fixate too much on numbers or like find yourself thinking about it too much?
No, because I think that's when you do start to take it too seriously, and then you lose your like, at the end of the day, like I started making content for fun, like I just want to keep it like that. I don't want to ever start to feel like, because at the end of the day, it's never that deep. Like,
Yeah.
it's never that deep. No, not really. Like, obviously in scenarios like that, like if you do something different and then suddenly like people enjoy it more, it's like, well, I want people to watch this. Like,
Yeah.
especially with educational ones, it's like, oh, well, I want to educate these
Yeah,
people.
I want
So
it to get
if
out to
this
more
is going to
people.
get out, yeah. But no, what about you?
So I don't. I think I've become quite good at just like shutting myself off from that a bit.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing is when I do like when I'm really proud of like a recipe I've created,
Yeah.
or I'm just like really happy with the way I filmed the food or whatever, I'm like, God, you guys are sleeping on this recipe.
Like, why is everyone not making this
Like,
and tagging me
it's
in the
fine,
comments?
but like you're the one that's losing out here.
Yeah, I think when it's like a recipe or something that you've made and like you know it's so good, like
Yeah.
you want everyone to see that.
Yeah.
The video, like, how do you make a viral cooking video? Like, what?
God, I don't know. You tell
Where's
me.
your
I'd love to
clickbaity
know.
hook in a viral cooking video?
I would say it's probably similar to what you said about like the taboo talks on the bus, is like having a clip of you tasting it at the start before
Yeah.
you start cooking it, so you see the final product. You know what you're getting yourself into. It's just like,
Sorry, I'm
little
laughing
things like
because it's
that.
not so cringe filming yourself try
oh
food
my God, it's so, and
having
every
to
time
be
you're like,
I would so get the ick from myself.
oh my
having
God.
to like try something 4 times, be like, and then try another one and be like,
I'm like, yeah, I didn't like that one.
Has anyone ever watched you do it and just been like, what are you
Oh, my
doing?
boyfriend hears it all the time. He thinks I'm a crazy bitch.
He must love it, like having a girlfriend that's just like food influencer and he just always gets like made lovely
Yeah,
stuff.
and
it
he's
must
a
be
big
lovely in your house
Foodie
always.
as well.
Yeah.
He's a very good cook, and actually he's taken up baking recently, so he's been the baker, I've been the cook. It's been great.
What a good mix you have. It
I
balances
know.
each other out so well.
I know, and actually that weekend just past there, he baked fresh baguettes and we made homemade banh mi's, like the Vietnamese
Oh, I saw
banh
them.
mi's.
I saw them. I
It
didn't
was
realize
so
he'd made
good.
the baguettes.
Yeah, he made the baguettes.
That is
I
brilliant.
know, pretty iconic duo.
No, that's really, your house must always smell insane.
Yeah, there's always something fun being cooked in my house. I love it.
There you go. You have you both like trying it. Be like,
Like, babe, get in this clip for me and say, pretend it's really nice.
I know. Have you ever done that? Have you ever pretended something's nice and it's not actually, but like.
No, I've had a
video.
few things that have just flopped and I've been like, right, I just can't use that because that's shit.
I think sometimes people like to see that though, like if something goes wrong, like still showing it.
Yeah.
Again, it's just more real. People just want to see
Yeah.
the realness. I feel like they'd rather you be like, here, this actually didn't turn out that great, than like lie and be like, oh, it was brilliant.
Yeah, and I actually don't test out a lot of my recipes. Like, I think people that are very much like, okay, this is the recipe, these are the measurements, like more kind of like proper chefs, and they'll test out the recipes and they'll get things exact, and then they'll film the video once they know exactly. Whereas I'm like, I'm craving this, we're gonna make this.
No, just absolutely eyeball it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never have like set, and people are always like, how many tablespoons of this? And I'm like, I don't know, just try
Whatever
it.
feels
Yeah.
right. I think that's the best way to be a cook.
I'm a big believer in that though, like just try your food and see what it needs more of. But then I guess some people need that, like they don't have that where they can tell what it needs more of. Whereas maybe I'm just quite, I don't
just
know,
a
I'm
seasoned
just
cook.
such a foodie that.
That's such a real flex. You could try and be like, needs more salt. I'm like that with a tomato pasta sauce. It's like the only thing I'll cook like properly. But I feel like I'm at a point now where I'm like making like a homemade pasta sauce. I can be like, needs some of this. It's just always salt.
Because of TikTok and like the way the platform is with like the trending sounds and the trending styles of videos and all of that, like a lot of it is just regurgitated content. Like it's the same thing.
I think
copy
people
and
see
pasted.
something do well, so then
Yeah.
it's like everyone jumps on it. It's like I've seen a lot of people saying that about like Get Ready With Me right now. They're like it's been done. Like it's
Yeah.
the same thing every time. They were like Alex Earl popped off doing a Get Ready With Me, so now just everyone does them, and it's very copy and paste, and it's like we need something new.
Yeah. And even like with Nara Smith and her cooking videos, now everyone's getting the mini mics and doing the ASMR cooking videos, and it's like we see these like trends all the time on TikTok, and I don't know, a lot of the time you do wonder, I don't think there is such thing as like, well, obviously there is such thing as original content, but you know what I mean, like it always is
done.
Everything is, well, as with everything in life, you're always taking inspiration and making it your own, but sometimes people don't really make it their own as well.
Yeah, and then I
you-
think that's when it gets run to the ground.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing, when something does well on TikTok, everyone then jumps on it, and then we get sick of it so quick because everyone jumps on it, and then they run it to the ground, and then we just rinse and repeat and move on to the next
Yeah.
thing. That
It's like fashion trends.
yeah, it's whatever's trendy, is trendy.
Yeah.
Until then we just move on to the next thing.
Yeah, definitely. And people, they see something that works, and then they quite literally take those words, but like, and the same tone of voice and the same, like, edit it the same way, the same
Always the
snappiness, like,
editing.
yeah, and then it's just like the same piece of content with a different face. It's crazy, and sometimes you actually see it, like, not back to back, but like maybe in the same 5 minutes.
Yeah,
on
you're
your
like,
phone.
wait, I've just seen this.
Yeah.
But it's someone else. Do you notice that with like Get Ready With Me's and stuff? Like, is that something just I've picked up on, or do you notice that too? Like everyone getting a bit sick of
Yeah, I
that type
mean,
of content?
I think in all fairness, I do actually like a good Get Ready With Me, as long as it's like chatty.
Yeah,
Like,
love
I
when
don't
they
want to
do it
know
with
what
a
makeup
story
products
time.
you're using.
No, I love when they'll do it with a story time. Have you noticed how much they're popping off right now? People
Story
doing,
times.
like the Who Did I Marry?
Yes, I love them.
Everyone's
Brooke
jumping on them.
Schofield's recently. Yeah.
She did hers, and it was obviously like the original. But I've noticed a lot of girls in Glasgow who've had like crazy dating experiences have done it. This girl's just posted one I saw. She's like sat in her car with a glass of wine. She did have to disclose that she wasn't driving because she said someone was going to give her a lawsuit. But doing like 20-part series,
Yeah.
deep diving into their personal business, and I love that because that's when I'm like, give me
Give
something,
me the tea.
like give me something substantial. This is a trend I love, but I think that's going to get run to the ground. I think everyone's now going to do like 20-part 10-minute
Do you
series
think?
that no one's then going to have the attention span to sit and watch like 4 of them anymore.
I'd be too scared to sit down there in my dirty laundry like that.
Yeah,
I feel like it would really come back to bite me in some way, shape, or form.
Some of them are naming names.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine the DMs you'd be getting?
I know.
The threats. But no, like,
I do
I'm
like a get. It's kind of like, in those videos, it's like half the screen is a video game and half the screen is something else. You ever see them?
like a Subway Surfers /
Yeah, and it's like that's the same kind of concept for me with like a Get Ready With Me where they're doing a story time. It's like the distraction and the how it's like pleasing to the eye of them doing their makeup, but then you're like getting the
like you need so
the
much going
audio
on
of
to keep you there. Yeah, I thought you were about to
of
say
someone
you
telling the
love
story.
those like Subway Surfer game videos. There are always people with like fidget toys and
Yeah.
stuff. Oh, they're everything.
I'd still do that. Like I do Get Ready With Me sometimes, but it would always be I'm never like, and this is what I'm using and this is how you apply it. It's always like I'm telling a story or chatting about something that happened to me.
So funny though, because that's what we were saying. Like that's what used to have us captivated for an hour. Like Jacqueline Hill, anyone could have sat before for an hour and literally just told you how they were doing their makeup, and we were sat.
Hooked.
But now we wouldn't. We would just scroll for like if
Yeah.
someone was doing that for 10 seconds, we'd be like next.
Yeah.
Which is mad.
I know, it's crazy. Do you think because I feel like, well, everyone's just on social media now, and it's not this thing of like, there's such a fine line between who is influencers now and, well, not a fine line. It's just like everyone
Like a
is
great area
within this space, and everyone posts. It's not like what it used to be of like, even when you're studying marketing, and the original term of like influencers was celebrities and professionals in their field, like people that were really well respected in their field and looked up to, like people high up in fashion and people high up in the music industry and all of that. Whereas now influencers is such a broad term with just like anyone that has influence, which is like so everyone like anyone can have a kind of pull on people if you're just like posting in any way on social media.
And like if someone had 100,000 followers on TikTok, I feel like they're just a bit more of a normal person nowadays.
Yeah.
Like you, back in the day, you would be like influencer, celeb status.
Yeah.
But now it almost feels like anyone can be an influencer type
Yeah.
thing. So I don't know if that's why it's lost its pull a bit as well, because it's like, well, anyone can be one.
Yeah. I think it's good though, because I think
too hard. Do you think like they're going into it for the wrong reason? I mean, like, do you think some people are
maybe? But I also think it's really good that the space has been opened up to people that aren't like quite so stereotypically what the original maybe influencer was. So I think it's really nice for there to be opportunity for it to be diversified.
It's
but at
given
the
a
same
platform to
time,
people.
as much as it is giving a platform, you're for like if you don't engage with it, that never comes up on your. So for example, I actually was speaking to a girl recently and who had a medical issue, and she was like, people think that because I can post on TikTok and that video can reach people, that that's amazing because it can reach anyone. But it's only other people with the same medical issue looking into this that I'm coming up on their page for, because
Yeah.
you know, like your For You page and your algorithm that you curate is actually just an echo chamber of what you think and what you feel and how you're
Yeah.
engaging with the content.
Like when people are like, I built my For You page brick by brick.
Yeah.
Like you could post a video on something so important going on in the world right now, but unless other people were engaged in that, they might not see that.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So as much as like it's a good thing that it is giving people a platform, you don't see it if you're not like interested in that. And it's like how you always think, you know, when you see people with like crazy views on let's say like abortion rights, see someone with crazy views and you're like, but I don't understand, how have they got to this point without that being challenged or without like seeing these videos on social media? And it's because
Yes.
all the things they're saying are agreeing with
They all
them.
stick together.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like that whole incel culture and stuff. It's like they're so trapped
Yeah.
in.
It's just one big echo chamber,
Yeah.
all the content you consume.
Because if whatever you engage with, TikTok or any social media is just going to churn out more like that to try and keep you on the app. Like that's
Exactly.
We see this from like a marketing perspective because we're both like marketing uni girlies, but like the end goal is to keep you on the app, so they're not going to like show you something that's going to challenge your views because that could piss you off and make you leave. They're just going to keep churning out similar stuff, similar views, and then that's why people get so entrapped in like really toxic mindsets online, because they don't differentiate.
Exactly.
Watching,
Like, when would a video ever come up contradicting, like, do you know what I mean? When would I ever see something that was contradicting my beliefs on women's abortion rights? Do you know what I mean?
Wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
There is a wrong side to TikTok though.
Yeah.
Do you not think? Like, see when people say that I got on the wrong side of TikTok, like, I think there genuinely is such thing as a wrong side, and I think that the wrong side is when the video's contradicting other people's beliefs. So I don't know if some people's TikTok, like, they engage with stuff that doesn't agree with their views, so then they just get shown more stuff, and I think that genuinely is the wrong side.
Yeah.
Sorry, none of that really made sense, but that really made sense in my head. But no, you wouldn't get shown stuff like that because you would close the app.
Yeah. So then I'm like, whoa, it's crazy that there's still people. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes, especially recently with the general elections, and like I remember looking at the way you can look at the map and it shows you like each constituency, like who won, and I just remember thinking like it's so crazy to me that there's still people voting for these parties that literally are against women's rights and against people LGBTQ plus communities' rights. And like who in God's earth is who in God's earth
on this earth
who in this world is still supporting these people? But like that's just not in my scope. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like you can't believe it because you've never,
because my friends, my digital media sphere, like everything is all what I believe, whereas like there's a whole other side to that.
I was gonna bring that up. I was like, I don't really want to be bringing like the voting into like the pod before you said that, but like that is like a huge issue with like parties like trying to reach people to like engage them with like their manifesto and stuff, because it's like, how do we speak to these people who like no one in their like, not even just like their social media around, but like you say like everyone around them, like how do you get them to listen because they're so like they're so like fixated on these ideas already.
Yeah, I know. And then some political parties, especially this year, Nigel Farage moving into the big social media campaign, and you're just like, how are people falling for this? I'm sorry.
Have you seen that like a lot of like politicians and stuff like that are trying to reach younger people, they'll try and like have like a trending sound of them humiliating themselves or something, but they'll be doing it on purpose, so they almost, even if they're becoming like the what's the word, the bunt of the joke, like, do you know what I'm saying? Even if they're like kind of doing it to humiliate themselves, it'll still create this like character of them amongst young people.
Of them being cool and them being in with the young people and them being on social media. 100%. I had to put a thing up on my story to say this, because I was like seeing all this stuff about how it was predicted that loads of young people were going to vote for Farage, and I was like, this is crazy to me. And I put up a post on my Instagram story and I was like, can I just remind you who this man is? And like his campaign for Brexit was literally all based on lies, and he had to step down after. I wouldn't believe a word that comes out of his mouth just because he's all of a sudden, his staff have all of a sudden learned how to use TikTok doesn't make him a good person.
There's a trending video of him right now. It's been coming up on my For You page. It's like, you know, you get those like CapCut templates that are like, it's like a video of him being like, boring.
Oh,
boring. Yeah. But like that's made it onto mainstream TikTok because it's just a trend in audio, but even that's giving him this persona
of like, it's like
tapped him into this like younger people realm, and like I would like you don't understand how smart PR people are. Like that genuinely could be staged.
Oh yeah,
they've thought
100%.
there's such smart people in these teams because it'll be the best PR people on these teams that think right. That will just give him some sort of relevance to young people. Like even if it's not good relevance, him just having this trending audio
Just
online,
any visibility,
still
yeah.
makes his name, makes his face, makes his voice recognizable. It's like okay, that was that TikTok guy. You're immediately associating him with young people.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised. It was like when Matt Hancock, sorry, look at us getting political on the pod. When Matt Hancock went on I'm a Celebrity, which I just thought was a terrible move.
Oh, it was a terrible move.
Like not for him. I mean, like for them to
For
get
them,
him in.
yeah.
Like I thought that was really stupid. But he said a lot of stuff that was kind of like innuendo that I saw a lot of people saying. Like, I think this is genuinely a PR move. Like him saying, like one of the things he said was like, like I got a bag, or like design. He said something about like getting a bag, or so excited I got a bag, something like that, which he was obviously referring to like a bag of stars or whatever you get on I'm a Celebrity. But like a lot of people were saying his PR people will have told him to say all these things that can be turned into really like funny audios, memeable things among young people. So like it's turned into a meme, and then people obviously put a different caption of that being like me at the afters.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Just like anything to make them relevant amongst young people.
So they can take it out of context and it can become like a meme relevant to young people. How did we get onto this?
Oh
but
my
you know
God.
what I mean?
It is quite scary, I think, when you obviously politicians are going to use social media now because that's such a big form of media in our lives. They're obviously going to use that as their part of their campaigns going forward. But like, I just think it's really terrifying how much they can do so, and how much shit they can talk, and how many lies they can tell and spread it over social media like that.
That's when we get into the whole other topic of fake news.
Yeah.
The second episode we talk about is fake news. The viewership will be like dropping off. But no, it's so important. Like that's a whole to be on the bus. Like that's actually a really good topic idea for that. But no, fake news is obviously a whole other. That's a whole other.
That's
realm.
a whole other podcast.
How did we get? We had such like a clear outline.
I know we had like
all these
points.
influencers, like fashion, like relevant, like bullet points. And imagine I turned to you and I was like, yeah, we're gonna deep dive on how politicians in public relations use social media.
Yeah, we never expected we'd get here, but I think we've pretty much
I
talked
hope
about
you've got
everything.
an episode somewhere within all that. Oh my goodness.
No, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
I had so much fun.
No, so did I. We've gone on about 20 different tangents.
I know we really have, but that's just like me to my core, as always.
No, but that's like
going on a million different tangents.
Staying so true to the pod. Like, I really love that.
100%.
Thank you. Thank you so
if
much.
people want to check out your socials, where can they find you, Zara?
Oh, I'm called What Zara Loves on like everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you as What Zara Loves.
Do you?
I was going to save you on my phone as What Zara Loves, and I was like, no, that's a bit weird.
When you meet someone online and you like know them as like their Instagram handle. Yeah, that's like me on everything.
What Zara Loves. And check out her Taboo Talks on the bus.
Thank you.
I feel like I said that wrong. Taboo.
It's called Taboo on the bus, but it is. It's Taboo Talks on the bus.
Okay.
Yeah.
I said taboo. Taboo on the bus.
Yeah. No, everyone pronounced that differently. I might even be pronouncing that wrong.
Yeah. No, thank you so much for joining me. I had so much fun today. If you guys enjoyed this week's episode, don't forget to give me a little 5-star review on Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcasts. As always, thank you all so much for your continued love and support. It means the absolute world to me. I will speak to you on next week's podcast. Bye.
That was so brilliant. You had that so snappy there.
I'm so used to saying it like all the time. You've got like your
spiel. Did you look at the camera when you said it?
Yeah.
You're like, so. That was brilliant. Oh, we need a wee coffee. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
You've barely drunk your...
Yeah, we're all done. Come take a photo?
Oh, yes,
please.
Take one, yeah.
Yes, please. That'd be good, thank you.